Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have another currently inked for you guys, and I think I have about 7 or 8 pens inked. It looks like it's 7. James also has some pens inked. I don't have them, he's at work right now, but I can tell you what it is. It is the Wingsung 699, which I have done a video about, and a Pilot capless. Actually it's my matte black one that he took, which is fine. I've come to the realization that whatever I ink, it's kind of also James's currently inked, because I tend to just give him a pen or he asks for a pen. He doesn't really ink them on his own anymore, partly because he has an 823 that he loves. It's his favorite pen, but the cap is broken and we still have to send it into Pilot. But ever since that happened, he's been like, whatever about the pen he uses. Kind of sad. But I think we'll fix it if the pen gets fixed. Anyway, so it's like a collective currently inked, except for the Pilot capless and then the Wingsung 699. Some coffee right here. I wonder if this is going to be a long video. I feel like I haven't done a currently inked in forever. It is not true. I checked. I did one like 6 weeks ago or something. But it feels like it's been a long time. So yeah, I'm ready for it. I hope you're ready for it. We're going to get to the pens right now. Alright, pens. I am using this kind of dirty Notco Sinclair. Notco doesn't really make cases right now, but I've seen that Rickshaw Bags is making the Sinclair right now, and they look really good. I really need to put this in the wash, as you can see, but I haven't yet. Got the pens in here. I always just keep them like mushed up a little bit. I'm not that careful with my pens, as you might already know. Also got a bunch of stickers in here that I sometimes put in my journal, not that often, but sometimes. And I think we should just start. I'm going to start with the pen that I did a video on very recently. That is the Twisbee Eco Glow Green. A really enjoyable pen, and I'm really enjoying using it. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Hopefully it will focus the way I want to. So I'm gonna write currently inked at the top. I'm using Rhodia paper right now. I'm not very used to Rhodia paper. I haven't used a Rhodia notebook in forever. And I saw that James had one lying around. Actually he used it a little bit. That's James's handwriting. But he last used it in like 2019, so I stole it from him. Currently inked. Alright, Twisbee Eco. And this is the Glow Green with a 1.1 stub nib. The ink is Maruzen Athena. Might be the other way around. But it's Eternal Blue. And I recently got a comment that ink color is really hard to see on the camera, so I think I don't remember who it was, but they said just write it and smudge it so you can see ink color better. And here we are. I'm going to try to remember to do that, because as you can see it does work. It is a blue ink. It's a very nice blue ink. Not my favorite ink, but James's favorite ink, so that says something, I guess. That is the Glow Green right there. I'm gonna get a very dirty finger. Next one is one I also recently showed you, so I'm just gonna get out of the way. And that is the Diamond 580 by Twisbee 2. It's the one I fixed on camera, which was really hard. I eventually got it done, but it was not great. Twisbee Diamond 540, and this is extra fine nib. The ink is Lamy Dark Lilac, and it's of course my favorite. I'll do a little bit of this. And it's still kind of hard to see, but it's a really dark and rich purple. It's one of my favorites. Yeah. Lovely writer. It's like, it's such a great pen for studying. I haven't been studying that much because like my work permit stuff has been on hold for so long. But yeah, it's great. Love it. I'm glad I got it like fixed. Next one. So I'm getting the kind of boring ones out of the way. The ones you've seen before, I guess. Or recently. I've seen recently. This is the Franklin Kristoff Pocket 40. Kind of dirty, but still inked with cross violet or inked again with cross violet. I just love this pen. It's my favorite pen right now, which is crazy, I guess, because I have so many like fancy pens, gold nib pens, but this is just my favorite. Also, I wrote down cross violet first. Franklin Kristoff. That is the pen maker. Pocket 40. And of course it's inked with cross violet. I'll do smudgy. Kind of similar to dark lilac. I would say it's a little cooler toned and a little lighter. One of my favorites when it comes to purples. Definitely one of my favorites. It's a really good purple. Yeah, very, very enjoyable. And this fine nib is just so good. I can't, sometimes you just get a nib that completely suits your writing, and this one has it. I actually bought it secondhand, so like I got really lucky with that. But yeah, lovely. Let's go for this Bennu. I haven't had this Bennu inked for a while. This is the Bennu Hexagon D. And at least I believe that's it. It has that lovely honeycomb pattern with the gold. I think I bought this because Gourmet Pens was showing it off and I loved it so much. And I still really enjoy it. I just don't use it enough in my own opinion. It is a larger pen by Bennu. They have a couple smaller pens. This is a really good size pen. Anyway, let us go do writing sample. Look at that. I love this clear ass section. Anyway, Bennu. Just checking if I was in shot. Hexagon D. I think I need to zoom in a little more. Hexagon D. The ink is Diamond. Smoke on the water. Which reminds me a lot of November Rain, but like it's just a slight difference. I feel like this flows a little better than November Rain. As you can see, it's like a petrol-y green type of ink. Very nice, very nice. Flow is really good. It's a medium nib, I forgot to say. Medium nib. Looks kind of like a fine to me, but because it's wet enough, that's not really a problem. Yeah, lovely pen. Also, one thing I don't like about this pen, now that we're here, the nib is really small. It's a Schmidt nib. I like Schmidt nibs. People are like divided on those, but I like them. But it's like the size of the nib for this pen is just not big enough. Next one is also a familiar one, but I don't think I had it inked in my last currently inked. And I'm cheating on dark lilac with a different ink in this pen. This is my M600 Ruby Red, which was my grill for such a long time. And now I have it and it's still kind of my grill because it's just great. It is a lovely, lovely pen. Pelican. And the ink flow in this is so great. M600. And I always want to specify it's the Ruby Red. I do have another 600 that I think I'm going to actually ink after this video. I might just quickly ink it and show you what I put in it. Because I guess it's also currently inked at that point. Medium nib. And the ink is Lamy Petrol. I never used my other 600 and I want to use it now. Lamy Petrol, lovely flow. Same as dark lilac. I just love the flow of it. I'm going to scritch it and then do that. They call this petrol. This is like a dark green. In the right paper it has some golden sheen. Very good flow. Also hard to get. I remember buying a second bottle like a couple months after it was out. I was really lucky that a store still had them. But yeah, hard to get. It's one of the great inks by Lamy. Should be in the normal lineup. Just as Dark Lilac should be. Anyway, gosh, this pen is so beautiful. I'm gushing on my own pens. Kind of weird. Okay, moving on up. Another of my favorites, which is the ProGear Slim, Sailor ProGear Slim in the Nebula finish. Look at that finger. Lovely. And this is a zoom nib, and that's why it's one of my favorites, because I love that zoom nib. Okay, Sailor ProGear Slim with a zoom. So I'm doing, let's do some high strokes and some low strokes so you can see that difference. Ink is Lamy Dark Lilac, because if you have it, you gotta use it, right? That's my opinion. That's a subtle nudge to someone who has it and hasn't used it. Already smudged it before, but yeah. It's a lovely ink. Gosh, I love that ink so much. It's great. And this pen is great. I love this nib so much. Runs out of ink so fast, but I guess that's forgivable because that nib is so fun to write with. Yeah, really enjoying this. Are we going to the last one already? Well, second to last, because I'm gonna ink. Of course, I'm gonna ink a pen on camera, I guess. And add it to the currently inked. This is a cheapie. This is a Lamy Vista, which is basically just a clear safari. And this is like my go-to shimmer ink pen. As you can see, there's definitely shimmer in that converter and in the feed. And when I say it's my shimmer ink pen, it's my Diamond Arctic Blue pen. That is my favorite shimmer ink, like of all time. And this pen, like, I don't worry about this pen. I can pull out the feed, clean it off. And it has a broad nib that really works well with this, so. Lamy Safari Vista. And I love this ink, not just because of the shimmer, because the base color is so, so good. So it's a broad. This is Diamond Arctic Blue. And I just really want a bottle without shimmer so I can use it every pen, because it's so lovely. It's like a lovely turquoise, but this one sheens red, and it sheens so easily. Like, it's saturated enough that it does actually sheen on a bunch of papers, and it's my favorite. My really, really favorite. All right, that is the seven ones that are inked up right now. I'm gonna grab my other M600 and pick an ink, and I'll be right back so we can add it to the currently inked. I've returned with a pen and an ink. It was kind of hard to pick one. I was thinking Takesumi for a while, which is Iroshizuku's black ink. But I never ink up a gray ink. And it says Encre Classique, or however you pronounce that, and it's Payne's Gray, Gris de Payne. I don't know if you say that correctly. I'm not very good at French. I think James really likes this ink. I've never used it before, so I'm gonna ink it up real quickly, hopefully not too messily. I love the idea of gray inks, but I've never really found one that I loved. So maybe this one, I'm gonna try not to get this section too smudgy. I love the white sectioned Pelicans. Let me see if there's any ink in here. There is. I love the white sectioned Pelicans, but it's so hard to not get them super dirty. Apparently I did a good job. I hope there's enough ink in here. It's really hard to tell because that barrel is not clear. But we'll see how that is. Wiping. Should be good. All right, closing that bottle. Back to zooming in. Wrong way. Good job, Marley. Good job. And then it is the Pelican. Oh, weird. M600. And it is the fine nib. And then violet stripe. The violet stripe. And the ink is Encre Classique. Payne's Gray. I wish it was more blue toned. I think it's gonna grow on me. Let's do this. I think you can definitely see what kind of color this is. It's just great. Kind of very pencily. Reminds me of pencil use. And then the fine nib with it, I guess also helps with that. I'm interested in how I'm gonna write with this, because it might be that I either start to love it or I'll be like, I'm shipping it off to James. But yeah, interesting color. Very different from what I have inked. Much more soft in its tone, like not as harsh as all this. I like bold colors in general, as you can see, and like the pastels are kind of lost on me. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm grabbing my pens, trying to with one hand. This is what I have inked right now. Thank you guys for joining me in this rambly session. I really had fun filming this. It's been a while that I had so much fun filming and currently inked. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, I'll answer them down below. It might take me a while, but eventually I'll get to it. Thank you guys for watching again. Bye-bye. Alright, while I was getting ready to edit, I saw another pen that I forgot that I had inked. And this is a Pelican M200. I think it's the aquamarine version. And I was at James's computer. It's really hard to see, but it's like that semi-translucent blue. I forgot I had it inked. It was the James's computer because I did a live stream with Brownie. But let's quickly just write it down so I don't actually forget that it exists. Pelican M200 or 205 because it has silver trim, and this is a fine nib. The ink is Diamond Majestic Blue, which is a lovely blue with red sheen, and I'll smudge that for you and I'll show it closely. And that is actually my currently inked fully. So I did have one more pen inked up. All right.